Mistake.
Well, if we're talking about odds, the chances are it was Jimmy McGrory, eh? A man is a goal machine. You know that Patsy took that new winger Leach aside at training, and he says to him, and I should know, because I was there. He says to him, son, you're only in this team because you can run fast and cross the ball. All you've got to do is aim that ball at McGrory's head. He'll do the rest. Oh, by the way, he likes the ball with the laces away from his head. Away and practice that.
What's the furthest you've walked, pal?
London.
Oof. London? That must have been some game. Who would be playing?
Wasn't it a game, son? It was a hunger march 4 years ago.
We're on to the game!
Yes!
1926, the year of the general strike, and the whole of the O'Byrne family were out, every man, woman and child. But you could still see McGrory soaring through the air, defying the laws of gravity, hovering like a kestrel, waiting on the ball to arrive, and a flick of the head and the ball flashing into the net. Poetry. Magic.
I took a trip to Parkhead, to that dear old paradise. As the teams came down the center, a tear fell from my eyes. A familiar face was missing from that green and white brigade. Alas, poor Johnny Thompson, his last game he has played. So play up, Glasgow Celtic, play up and play the game. From defeat he saved the Celtic, and with his life he paid.
They never die who live in the hearts they leave behind. That's what it says in the gravestone of John Thompson, the miner's son from Fife. A Protestant and a great hero with a Celtic support. Killed at the age of 22 when he threw himself at the feet of Sam English on the 5th of September 1931. And when he was buried in a simple ceremony, in keeping with his religion, which is every man and every woman's own business, over 30,000 people came to the tiny village of Cardenden where he grew up. And we were there, as we were the day before when the minister spoke at the memorial service in Glasgow.
I have never met a more unassuming lad. He had not been spoiled by his amazing success. He was loved by everyone who knew him. There is one way in which his death might bring great gain. Those thoughtless crowds that call themselves Celtic or Rangers supporters, whom both teams disown, who gather behind the goals of their respective favourites and cheer themselves hoarse when a member of the opposing team lies writhing in pain. If they can be brought to realize by this tragic happening the brutal cruelty of their actions, John Thompson will not have given up his young life in vain. Do they not realize? Their shameless jeering was the last sound that ever reached John Thompson's dying brain. By chance, it was a Rangers crowd that howled with glee as that silent figure who had done such a splendid thing lay, broken on the ground. But if a Rangers player had been lying there, as loud a roar would have risen from Celtic throats. I speak now to that wider congregation who may read these words in the press. Will you resolve in this solemn hour of his passing to make John Thompson's ideal of sportsmanship your own.
You'll never see the like of that man again, son. Best goalie there ever was. No tall, but brave.
Aye, maybe too brave.
Maybe. But 19 times out of 20, he knew which way that ball was going to go.
I'm going to be a goalie for Celtic.
I will, maybe, son.
Here's Happy Feet Napier.
Well, practically every player in the country is here, son. Some of the older ones as well. There's Napoleon.
Napoleon?
Napoleon McMenemy, son, before your time. But look, there's Joe Dodge and Alec McNair. Great backs about 10 years ago.
Aye, and there's the Rangers team coming now.
Hey, Mammy, here's the man that killed him.
Hey, it was an accident.
Here's McGrory. Jimmy McGrory.
So it is.
Aye, Jimmy McGrory. Nobody'll ever beat that, son. 8 goals in 1 game against Dunfermline, 1927-28.
I'm going to be a centre forward for Celtic.
Hungry years are times for scapegoats. Hungry people clutch at straws. Watch how they divide and rule us. Blame that Jew, blame that Tim, blame that Hun. But that's no way to manage a railroad. We've had enough of hearing your lies. But there's one thing for sure, we can lay at your door. That's the result at Hero Paradise. Hungry years, Celtic Park in these hungry years. The 20s were bad, but the 30s are worse. The sales were nothing and the jazz came first. The boys in green, never seen such lean and hungry years. The boys in green, never seen such lean and hungry years.
1938, and the Burns family were deeply divided. Burns, I hope you'll notice, that was son Michael's idea. He thought it sounded more Scottish than a Burn, and it might make all the difference if he went for one of these jobs that said, no Irish need apply. As I said, they were deeply divided, because on the 10th of June, the Burns women were determined to go to the opening of the Great Empire exhibition at Bellahouston Park. And the Burns men, they were determined to go to the finals of the exhibition trophy at Ibrox. The excitement of seeing Everton playing Celtic against the exhilaration of a ride on the Rocket Railway. And so a compromise was reached. Each party went their own ways, but agreed to meet later for tea at Bellahouston Park in Glasgow's very first Indian restaurant. Give me chutney and chips.
Michael?
No, I'll just have the same as you, thanks.
No. We've got an announcement to make.
Oh, aye. Sorry. Well, everybody, I've got a trial for Celtic.
No, we're getting married!
You're going up for Celtic. And I'm getting married as well.
Congratulations.
And the Burns family left the residence, each one choking. The men were determined to jack it in, but the woman said, you'll eat every last bite. Think of the starving